everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you a UX portfolio which did an awesome job at visual storytelling. And just a quick reminder, I share everything about UX from portfolio reviews and design crits on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested on this type of content, please feel free to hit the subscribe so you won't miss any of my future content. So it's been a long time that I haven't been updating my UX portfolio. I've been really wanting to learn about Procreate to up-level the visuals in my portfolio site and also my everyday work as a UX designer. And I was super excited to find this class on Skillshare that teaches the advanced techniques in pattern making, animating, and creating polished professional work with Procreate. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry professionals across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Skillshare designed learning paths to help you actually get from a beginner to pro in no time. So learning paths are basically handpicked classes meant to be taken in order that build on one another, reinforcing lessons. They are available in a range of experience levels from beginner to advanced, and a variety of categories including design, productivity, creative freelancing, tools, and softwares. Another way you can browse the available classes is just by tapping the Browse tab, where you will find different topics such as animation, creative writing, photography, and UI UX design. For example, for UI and UX design, you will see there are a huge variety of resources teaching about prototyping, graphic design, and AI-powered UX design from prompts to Figma prototypes. I am so thrilled to discover this platform with a huge variety of learning resources and a great community to connect you with industry professionals. By the way, the first 500 people to use the link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So please check it out. And also, I want to say thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Let's dive into it. So we're looking at the landing page of the portfolio from Uting. There is a really cool illustration and the introduction from the designer. As we scroll, you'll start to see the selected case studies. I love the micro interactions as I move the mouse around. When it is hover over the project image, it turns into this bubble says open, while if I am away from the area, it turns into this cursor, this dot, which I think is a really cool interaction. So there are a few projects listed here, and a get in touch at the bottom. Back to the top navbar, there is home, about me, and the resume section, which I think covers the most critical elements required for a design portfolio. Let's dive into the first case study, revitalizing good rate. So now we're in the project page. I love that this project page starts with a really strong visual showcasing the design outcome of this project. And as I scroll, you will see this header with some high-level key data of the project from timeline, collaborators, the designer's role, skills, and the tools involved, which I think is super helpful. Then it started to get into the actual content. Looks like on the left side, this is like the table of contents that serves like an index, which you can switch quickly between different sections. So I start with objective to enhance Goodreads user engagement and modernize the platform through innovative features. So it looks like this is kind of a design case study to redesign or improve the existing experience of a product. So I started with a project overview and a problem statement, which I think is always critical to have. Okay. I think for a problem statement, this definitely has room to improve. First of all, it's a little bit too long, and I think it actually talks more about the context, the goal of the project. An actual problem statement of a case study should focus on how might we help certain user group solve what problem. Like in this case, how might we make Goodreads more engaging and visually appealing to users? Something to be more high level, but still very specific to what your project case study is aiming to solve. Then it goes into brand research. This looks like probably a competitive study, which I think it doesn't hurt to show. Heuristic analysis. I would encourage you to think about when you tell the story in a portfolio format, how to connect this piece in your story and let it help you to demonstrate your value. Then it has more context about public opinion, more competitive analysis and user research. I get the point you're showing. This is probably to like kind of demonstrate you did cart sorting. I would encourage you to think about how to make it even more valuable to your audience, because right now my only takeaway is you have done some cart sorting. The highlighted bolded text is still talking about the context, but what is the insights that you were able to unlock by doing this exercise? Okay, key insights. Maybe this is what I was looking for. We rated 2 main green stickies we want to focus on. Okay, the 2 problems that this designer decided to focus on. This is helpful. Problem identification. Okay, and proposed feature. This area, it feels a little bit too text heavy. A lot of the time people don't read, and portfolio, especially a case you would want to rely on visual storytelling. Think more about how to just highlight a key touch point. Testing strategy. I like this. I think this is a good visual that supports your story. Okay, this is interesting. I would usually expect to see like what are the data as you show user testing result. I wonder maybe is this actually the designs that you used for the user testing? So it would be helpful to clarify this a little bit. And here we go, testing insights. The key findings for the 2 different features. And it goes into prototyping wireframe. This designer is including some lo-fi sketches to show how she approached the problem. Then it followed by scrapbook and Nook. Okay, a little bit nitpicky. The font size looks different between these 2 text lines, so you can work on to consolidate and make sure they're visually consistent. But overall, I think this is great assets to include. This is kind of like I would say, mid-fi wireframes of how you envision the new experience might look like for Scrapbook. So lo-fi usability testing and the testing result. Perfect. And in the testing result, I see there are more design marks here. So it says Nook removed all realistic objects and replaced them with flat digital visuals. Okay, for this kind of bullet point, I think it's okay to list it this way, but maybe an even more helpful way is to connect this with the actual visual, because right now if I'm reading this line, I might still don't know like what you mean by replace them with flat digital visuals and where they are. So these are the perfect cases where you can consider to show the visual in a larger size while using some call out to explain the design rationale. Okay, and for Scrapbook, there's lighter toolbar design, wide range of ways to express emotion, and easy and soft interface design. Okay, I kind of get the idea these are probably showing the design outcome. I think this visuals looks really helpful, but one thing that can make this even better is probably separate this into sections. So for example, first, lighter toolbar design. Show the visual and explain why. Beyond that you landed on a lighter toolbar design. Tell me more about why you think a lighter toolbar design works better, and how does that connect to your goal of making this product more engaging or visually appealing. Now we're looking at a final delivery, onboarding experience. Okay, cool. This looks like a prototype. Very nice. And also how to add a bookshelf. I love this prototype demo. I think it always helped me to understand the whole journey. It serves a really good way for visual storytelling. One opportunity to make this area more visually appealing is to clean up this device a little bit. We're looking at this prototype in a laptop device frame, and there's also a dark background overlapping on the actual white background. So it feels a little bit too busy. I would encourage you to explore different ways. Maybe you can try just a transparent background, so you can only see the device frame, or different ways to make it actually people can focus on the asset, the prototype itself. And it looks like at the end there's also a showcase video and value prop. What is value prop? I think the value prop feels a little bit odd at the end. Maybe this is something you can consider to bring up to the beginning of the project, because one thing I do feel a little bit missing in this case study is what is your success matrix? And is there a business goal? If so, what it is? I think for a project case study, a redesign, a very common issue is the story focus on the actual design only without a strong ending or proof that how has your design successfully solved the problem. I understand because this is not a real project that you can get the launch data, but on the flip side, there are also different ways you can measure the outcome. For example, if the goal is to increase user engagement rate, how would you measure that? And maybe you can measure that through survey or user testings and make sure that you have some data and measurable result that can help you have a stronger ending for this kind of case study. So let's take a quick look at the about page. This started with the intro of the designer and some highlight. I like this kind of bubble highlight of the keywords. Oh, and there are some cool pictures about what this designer enjoys doing outside of work, which I think is super cool. It talks about education, experience, and this is nicely done. It's a good balance of text and image. It has a quite rich content, but doesn't feel too heavy. I think this designer did a really good job of visual storytelling, from the illustration in the landing page to the visual and the interaction design of those project thumbnails, to the hero image and visual assets, prototypes in the case study. So all those plays a big factor that helps to make this portfolio stand out. And the key recommendations is really to think about how do you set up success matrix and have some measurable result. So it can help you land on some concrete data that can prove how your design or redesign has successfully improve the user experience or drive the business goal. That is all I have for today. If you have any comments or thoughts, please feel free to leave comments. I would love to hear from you. I will see you next time. Bye.